Yeah, yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Ba 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 bum ba 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 na 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 bum ba 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 na 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 bum ba 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 bum ba 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 da da ba da ba 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 Oh yeah, that was for my real ones. That was for my real ones. If you know about it, you know. If you know about it, you know. Okay? You already know, y'all. You already know. Show some love, y'all. It's Star Wars Day. Officially. 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 It is Star Wars Day. May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Shout out to all the Star Wars fans worldwide. Everybody that loves and knows the impact and foundations of Star Wars. Big up to all the Star Wars fans, y'all. Major love to all the Star Wars fans on May 4th. This is supposed to be Star Wars Day, they say. May the 4th be with you. I forget. I know it wasn't something that was always a thing, but I can remember many years ago when this became a tradition, regular something you'd hear people talk about and do and participate in. But yeah, if you're a Star Wars fan, shout out to you. I'm definitely a fan. Today, I didn't even think about it until I got out. I was like, man, I ain't wearing nothing with Star Wars. I would have worn my Star Wars stuff. I got something, I know. And it's funny because I have a shirt. I still got to replace that shirt. There's really no replacing it. I got to get something else to take the place of its energy. But I got this Boba Fett shirt with one of the original Marvel Comics covers for Star Wars, where he's like the main character featured on the cover. There's other characters on it, but he's like the main one. That's one of my favorite. Of all the Star Wars characters, my two top would probably, well, three top characters would be like Chewbacca, Lando Calrissian, Boba Fett. Period. Everybody else follow in where you fit. I like Luke. I like Han. He's the man. I like Han more than I like Luke, but I still like Luke. But I definitely, I love Leia. All of that. Every character, all the main characters. R2D2 all day. But I'm definitely a Wookiee. Let the Wookiee win. That's the phrase forever. I'm with the Wookiees from start to finish. Chewbacca to the fullest. Black Kirstanen, I hope I'm saying the name right. Yeah. The big Wookiee that was in the Boba Fett show. Love that. Love that character. So dope. And I met him in person. I always say it feels like I actually met the real. I didn't meet the actor who played him, but I may as well have because there was a brother who was at MomoCon last year. I still say, man, I just hope he shows up again. That was the most phenomenal suit I've ever seen of something that was like so close to replica. You feel like this is what the character wore on set. Like this thing was insane. And if you haven't seen the footage of that, all you gotta do is look up MomoCon, put in ONYXCON and then say MomoCon, and it'll give you all the years that I covered it, the different episodes of content. And there's one where you'll see me giving him that or standing next to him pointing at him like, yo, this the man right here. And he's in the full suit, like crazy. I mean, I think the dude told me he was naturally like 6'5", so then he's on stilts too. And so it's like when he stood up, it's like he's like 7, 8 foot or something crazy. I'm like, damn, this thing is insane. But it looked so real. He told me how many hours he put into it. It was crazy. That was the dopest cosplay of a Wookiee I've ever seen. And like I say, one of the best I've ever seen of anything that was like movie ready. Like that could literally be on set. Like it was that good. Incredible. And y'all know I'm in the film biz, so I'm speaking from experience when I say the level of quality required to be in front of camera. It was that level. Absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, if you want to see that, like I said, go through the MomoCon footage of ONYXCON here on the channel. Check that out. 6 people in the building, one thumbs up. What's good, y'all? If you're a Star Wars fan, put a thumbs up today, yo. Big up the love for Star Wars. Come on. But I was like, it's funny. I was in a store and somebody recognized the logo here. That's from Cyberpunk. That's the samurai logo for Johnny Silverhand's band. If you play Cyberpunk, and you know what I'm talking about. And he was like, yo, love the hat. I said, oh, you play? You know about Cyberpunk? He's like, man, that's the only game I ever put 50 hours into and don't have no regrets. I said, speak it, real talk. I said, I don't even know how many hours I put. Shit, mine might be 100. I don't even know, honestly. I had to go back and look and see how many hours I put on Cyberpunk, but that's my game. That is my game, for real. And so I said, yeah, we all out here waiting on part two as long as however many years it take. We ready for it. We here for it. We live for it. He's like, hell yeah. So that was dope. That was dope. Yeah, I was at the store, got myself a new. Speak of some more Star Wars. I like to say, I'm the Jedi angler. Like I approach being an angler like, yo, it's a mastery of it on the level of being a Jedi. So I got them years. I claim that full heartedly with my skills and what I've been able to catch so far. But I got myself a new rod and reel today for Aiden. Talk about the flex. Talk about what's the flex, baby? Save some money, okay? I literally got like a $200 setup for $30. I kid you not. I kid you not. Straight up. Straight up. This is definitely a three. It's like it could be a $200 to $300 pole because I know how much the reel alone would go for when it first came out. But the thing is, I love discount shops, so I go to all the discount places that are like the last chance type joints. That's my guy. I would shout out the store. I wouldn't mind if they put some money on us, but we ain't got no connection to them directly like that. So I ain't about to be just talking about these stores. But yeah, I'll do a video. You'll see it. You'll see the sticker, and if you know the store, you know the store. It's all good. But I'm gonna debut that bad boy because I gotta get it. I gotta get it rigged up. Next time I go to the river, this is my new river rod. I'm gonna have that thing every time I go to the river. And the only thing I didn't like about it is the colors are not as bold as I would like for them to be. It's like I hate when people design stuff. I ain't gonna say hate. It's not to my personal taste. Whoever the designer was, they thought that was a good look. Or maybe they wanted something else. Because what I've learned about manufacturing, a lot of times they'll pick a color, right? But when they send it off for manufacturing, the processing plant will change the color tones, and then they have to just be stuck with it sometimes because money's already spent, or it's too much more money to go through what it would take to get it just to exactly the spectrum of color they wanted or whatever. But like, you see how rich this blue is on my hat, right? And you see how this blue is inside this Spider-Man logo. Like the blue on this rod is like that blue, and it's got a red that's more like, there's one red it's got that's close to the red in this Spider-Man logo too. But then there's other reds that are as rich as the red in here, but it's not even this color. It's like a raspberry, and it's like metallic on the bell because it's a spinner. It's a spinner reel. So like when you flip the bell ring is like metallic raspberry. It's beautiful. I was like, damn, that should have been on the rest of the rod. Like, coordinate, damn it. Like, you had the dopest colors. Like, what did you do with this? You messed it up. You had all this cool color. Because they ended up going with, like, just a, I don't know, fire engine red. Like a little bit like this red right here. Not quite this beautiful and rich. And that's on each of the sections for the eyelets where your line goes through the rod. But it doesn't match that bell. It's like, why wouldn't you match this bell? This bell is electric. It's flavor. It's popping. It's dope. And then the blue that they used is not a blue this rich. I wish they had used something this rich. They went, like I said, like a muted color. There's nothing wrong with the color. It's just I wouldn't put that blue with this ensemble, not next to that raspberry. So anyway, that's the artist in me. I'm always painting in my mind when I see stuff. That's how, I look at these items, even though it's a tool, it's still like I want it to also be like an accessory. It's going to complete a whole look of the Jedi when I put on my ONYXCON fishing tournament jersey, because I got a jersey has enough colors that are in that pole to even still match it regardless. And I already started thinking, I said, I think I'm gonna tat that pole up. And what I mean by tat it up, like I tattoo stuff. I used to have this tradition of doing this more often, and I'm gonna bring it back. But like I would draw on clothing, and back in the day we used to do. I mean, in the airbrush era, especially late '80s, early '90s, all that was popping. But I don't care about trends. I just did whatever I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. And so I would have stuff that I would like draw on or whatever, and people would always be like, "Yo, where'd you get that?" Because they think it was bought like that. Because I'm a calligrapher too, so I know how to do calligraphy styles of different types and all that. So I would literally like tattoo the stuff up. Like I had a water bottle one time. It's like mint green. I took a permanent marker and I just did some quick tags on it. I was like ONYXCON, Art Life, a lot of my phrases, and I didn't put it all over the water bottle, but in the area it was with it, placed in a significant way. And then there's a beautiful minty green. People would see that. Like, I'll never forget what my boy would say. Yo, that's dope. Where'd you get that? And then he thought about it. He's like, did you do that? Like, I said, yeah. He know I'm an artist like that. He's like, yeah, that's dope. I was like, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. And it was already starting to even fade, but, it still just looked cool as hell. And I always hated it with that water bottle. It ended up getting broke. You know how you get water bottles and they're not really made sturdy and you drop them? It's like, man, you get a water bottle. It's got to be something that's going to last. Like, my favorite one now is the one I got right now. I don't mind. I'll shout out this brand because it's just been quality to me. What is this? This is a Stanley. And, they ain't no, I ain't got no connection or deal with them. Y'all owe me some money, Stanley. But this thing here is a tank. I'm talking about I done dropped it. You see the scuff marks. It's a tank. It is a tank. It does not die. Yeah, it's a real tank though. And that's what it's got to be when you get stuff that's going to be used outdoors and every day. Because I literally think every day. But also because I fish, I've been in the woods to hunt with it, all kinds of stuff. So it's just sturdy. It just lasts. It's made for whatever. And that's what I like. When I'm spending my money, I like something that's going to literally, you have to dang near just say, okay, I just want a different color. I'm going to get another one because it ain't that it don't work no more. The thing's still good. You can use it forever. That's my kind of stuff. That's my kind of stuff. But yeah, and this rod and reel, this is Shakespeare products, which I don't mind shouting them out, cause that's a ugly stick. If you fish, you know what an ugly stick is. That thing there, like you talk about stuff that lasts forever. Like I heard a guy say one time he has an ugly stick and they was canoeing him and his wife to this area to fish for him, and like his rod started scraping up against the rocks where he was there. He said, "Oh damn!" And when he got there, he pulled it out. He's like, "Yep, still good. That's that ugly stick." I said, "Oh yeah, He's like, man, the other sticks are so good. You had to shoot the thing. You can't kill it. I was like, yeah. They for real. They for real. They last. And that's, like I said, that's Shakespeare products. And I don't mind shouting them out because I remember we should have a sponsorship with them, even though we don't. But I like to shout out one part of their company. Whoever the guy is, he knows who he is. I forgot his name, but I still got DMs from this brother. But he runs their Instagram. And he followed me back on ONYXCON Outdoors. And when I told him I'd like to get a sponsorship with them, he gave me all the information of who I needed to talk to. And I reached out and did all the stuff I was supposed to do. And I told him, I said, man, did nobody ever get back with me? He's like, man, he didn't say too much, but I knew that was kind of like, they're doing what they doing. Because if I was in charge, you'd have a sponsorship because I love your content. I said, thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. You know, it's like, I see what you're doing. I know what you're doing. I know how diverse what you got going on is. And I see that you really are a serious fisherman. I said, man, I wouldn't have no problem giving you some stuff, but I'm not in charge of that. I just run the Instagram. I said, I feel you. I feel you. But he was cool as hell, man. Shout out to him. So that's the only reason I even will like verbally still stand behind that product and shout them out because at least one person in their team recognized greatness and saluted ONYXCON and was respectful of what we're doing. And that means something to me because there's so few folks that do that, period, or that, you know, will stand on their own merit. Like, yeah, I work for this company, but I'm an individual, man. Shit, I see you. You know, I'm not gonna be on this we, and the company ain't acting right. It's like, yeah, well, they're doing what they're doing, but yeah, man, I like what you're doing. You know, it's like that. Hey, baby, hey, baby, hey, baby, hey, baby, hey, baby, I'm in the club yelling, hey, baby, hey, baby. Y'all remember that? Kids ain't gonna know what I'm talking about. All the people close to mine ain't gonna know what I'm talking about. And I forgot who that was. It said it was Hurricane Chris. I thought that was Boosie. I could have sworn. He sounds so much that whole little era where all them guys sound like that coming out of New Orleans and other places. And I'm not even sure that that guy's from New Orleans. I gotta look him up, see where he was coming out of. But that's hilarious. I was like looking at this. I looked at the screen. I said, "What? Oh, that's not Boosie. That's Hurricane Chris. Shout out Hurricane Chris. Hey, bye bye. That was his one hit too, boy. One hit wonder. That thing was popping in the club in the early 2000s. Oh yeah. But I just dropped off an order. Somebody had this. This is really good smelling, made in Mexico, powdered detergent. Oh my god, that stuff smells so freaking good. I was like, I need to sprinkle some of this in my car for just air freshener. This is wonderful. And I'm not big on artificial smells. I'm really not. I don't even wear like colognes and stuff. I used to. I'm not saying I never would again. For any of the ladies that want to smell me, you smell me, ladies. But I smell good naturally. You know what I'm saying? I just wear natural stuff. I wear a lot of shea butter and coconut. I wear a lot of coconut oil. I make my own deodorant out of coconut oil. So that's my fragrance. You know what I'm saying? Just smelling natural and coconut fresh. You know what I mean? I'm tropical with my thing. But I know some people who can't go nowhere without spraying on something. They got to have on the fragrance. But it's so chemical. That's my problem with it. All them chemical smells. Sometimes even when they smell good, I'm just like, yeah, but what is the chemical that makes this linger so long and stay on your skin and all? I don't like that. If I was gonna wear it, I ain't gonna put it on my skin. I'll put it on my clothes. That's what I got to the point. I went from when I was a kid. Oh yeah, when I said kid, I'm saying like middle school and high school. Oh yeah, you just douse yourself and shit, and everybody know how young you are because you put too much on. Then you get to college, and I used to just put it on my wrist, down there if I'm gonna have a lucky night, you know what I'm saying? Ladies, you feel me? And all of that. But then I got to the point, I was like, man, I read up and I started hearing about, luckily I never had no, reactions. Some people's skin so sensitive, they get reactions. So none of that ever happened. But I just like, this is just way too chemical. I'm like, I don't want that on my body. So I would just like put it on my clothes. Like before I even put the shirt on, I might just spray the shirt. You know what I'm saying? something like that. And it don't need much. Just, psh, psh, in the areas where okay, you give a lady a hug, she gonna smell it on your collar, that kind of stuff. You know, did all that kind of stuff. But then like I said, I got to the point where I was just like, man, I just don't like none of this chemical stuff. So I generally do not wear cologne like that. Like if someone even to gift me something, or if I had a lady friend and she was like, I really like this smell. Okay, I might get something. Just like I said, I put it on clothes so she could smell it. But I don't like that stuff on my skin, man. It's just too much going on with chemicals. Keep it as natural as possible because it's already artificial. Just to be alive in America is a very artificial existence. Shit, you know what I mean? Like for real talk. Let me see, is this? I don't see nothing saying I can't turn. So everything we good? We good? I think we good. All right, good. You know. But yo, like I say, Star Wars Day, y'all, May the 4th. I got something special for y'all later. If I feel up to it when I get home, I'm gonna do something for y'all. I got something for y'all. So make sure if you don't mind pushing the bell. If you already subscribed, you gotta subscribe. But then hit the bell so you don't miss nothing when I go live again. Cause when I get home, I might do a little something special just for Star Wars Day, alive, just for y'all. You know, only for my real ones. All my people who done hit the subscribe button, hitting the like button right now. You know what I mean? Hitting the like button right now. Hitting the like button right now. You know, they can't hear me. It's 13 of them up in here, but they act like they can't hear me. You know what I'm saying? When y'all get right, I got something for you. For real talk. When we get home today, I'm gonna put on for Star Wars. I'm gonna do something, throw something together for y'all real quick. You're gonna love it too. If you're a Star Wars fan, you're gonna love it. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. And I might even go through the comic book stash and pull out some of my best Star Wars books, maybe. Like flash some covers, do a cover, flashing them some real cool covers and stuff. Cause I got some books that I literally bought just, I do that still. I'll buy stuff just for the cover. Books too damn expensive, but so sometimes I miss stuff that I want to get, but when I got it, I sure enough get it. Let's see here. All right, three thumbs up. I appreciate y'all, man. Now my real one's showing up. That's what I'm talking about. Just gotta keep talking to them. The real one's gonna show up. They recognize real. They coming through. 10 in the building. Let's get some more thumbs up and get some more likes. But what's your favorite Star Wars character of all time? That's the question. What is your and why? Who's your favorite Star Wars character of all time and why? But you got to be a subscriber to hit the comments. So I don't know what to tell you, Shawty. If you ain't no subscriber, I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't know what's going on with your life. You can get your life, so you can participate and not participate. A lot of haters going on, but and I know they be mad. I see it every time I go live. It be like them 3, 4, 5 comments that I never see. I be like, these people weird, man. What's wrong with folks? What is wrong with them? Why would you not subscribe? Like, you here, you looking, you enjoying the content. But anyway, like I said, my favorites, all the Wookiees, Chewbacca Forever, Black Krrsantan, all right, from the Book of Boba Fett, the big black-haired Wookiee. Yeah, cool as shit. He's the coolest. It's hard to be a little bit cooler than even Chewbacca, but he not this much cooler, just a little bit. Chewy by default, but he just got that presence, man. Like that's that dude. That's that dude. You know what I mean? I think the only reason I put Cassandra a little bit higher than Chewie is because Chewbacca at the end of the day he was still like a sidekick. He was his own man. It ain't like Han Solo be yelling at him and talking shit, but Wookiee, Chewbacca will kick your ass if he get tired of your shit. He just like you enough not to kick your ass every time you yelling at him about what to fix on the Millennium Falcon. That's the only reason Han didn't walk around with a foot up his ass. Like straight up, the way he be talking to Wood, man, please. That is a Wookiee. All right? Chewie just, they had their history and they just go back and forth, like old Like they homies. Like, and but this like the fact that he would get yelled at like that, yeah, that's why Costanza. You ain't nobody yelling at Costanza. Yeah, okay, try if you want. The wrong look might get your ass your head thumped off. You just and then a blast. You know what I mean? Yeah. So Black Costanza, yeah, one of the ultimate Wookiees of all time. Ultimate. You know. Y'all don't know if you don't know about his history in the comic books. He fought Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hello, okay, I he that raw. Yeah, he just that raw. He that dude. But yeah, that's one of my favorites. And then of course Lando Calrissian forever and a day. I mean, come on, the coolest black man in the galaxy. Billy D. Williams forever and a day. Forever and a day. And I mean, Childish Gambino did his thing with it later, but I look at that like a whole nother character. I don't even look at that like as being really Lando. He just he did his own thing with it, but it wasn't Lando to me. It was him. It was Childish Gambino in space, like straight up. Like, take my brother from Atlanta and just put him in Star Wars. Like, I didn't feel the Landoisms as much as I wanted to. And then I'll never forget him talking in an interview about it and how he was approaching it. I was like, okay, he on this new generation shit instead of who the character is. It's like, bro, this is a character. Stay in the pocket, okay? If you're going to accept a role, I'm an actor myself, so I don't take no roles that I don't want to do or that I'm not personally comfortable with expressing that person. I have to be that, so I'm gonna be that. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna damn do it. And I think he was trying to bring some of his own philosophy and perspective and mannerisms and all this other mess into it. I'm like, dude, that's you. That ain't got shit to do with Lando. Just be Lando if you're gonna do Lando. So forever and a day, like I said, the only real Lando, Billy D. Williams, forever. Okay. All right, now. But and then I said, so like I said, all the Wookiees, Lando Calrissian forever. Cloud City affair, baby. It's a Cloud City affair. Y'all don't understand. Let me tell you some more about that real quick. Cloud City was the dopest looking thing, one of the dopest looking places in Star Wars. I'll never forget seeing Empire Strikes Back, which I still say is yeah, that's definitely my favorite Star Wars movie. Well, I don't know. Return of the Jedi pretty raw too, and the first one's just classic. But damn, you could put them together. You could say just the first series, man. What can I say? Just forever and a day. But I will say my favorite parts of the first series were Empire and Jedi. Absolutely, absolutely. Um, Rogue One was a cool movie. Uh, Solo was a good movie. A lot of people try and act like it wasn't all that, but it was pretty decent. It was good. I liked it as a backstory for Han and how he met Chewbacca and all that. I thought all that was really cool. So I enjoyed Solo as a movie. People, like I say, act dismissive, like it didn't happen. And come on, the very end where they showed basically Darth Maul, like I was like, that was what? What? Which Darth Maul is definitely my favorite villain. Yeah, I mean, mm, well, I put it like this: he's equal to the badassery of Darth Vader to me. Darth is always, of course, the guy, and James Earl Jones forever and a day, the voice of power. Hello, my thespian legend, the king, baby, the king of Zamunda. Yes, coming to America's legend, the man as Darth Vader. Man, come on, James Earl Jones forever, ever, ever. Let's see, is this my turn? Yes. Okay. But so yeah, I definitely I would say yeah. As far as the villains, I just say neck and neck. Both of them equal in terms of my love for Darth Vader and Darth Maul. But those would be the best villains in Star Wars to me. Um, Somebody might say, I thought you said Boba Fett. Yeah, but I don't consider. I mean, he was introduced as a villain, but Boba Fett to me, because he redeemed himself and became all of it, he became a hero. He's never really a villain. He just victim of circumstance and whatnot. Django fit raw as hell too. I like Django too. I just like the Mandalorian. I just say all the Mandalorians cool as hell. You know, some of the Jedi's cool because when you really got into the politics of the Jedi's and what they done, they did some